welcome to another Markets and Waves video. Today is Thursday, it is the 22nd of April, and certainly is going to be again another interesting session. Yesterday we talked about a number of assets and we saw actually the scenarios that we looked at playing out quite well. Today we're going to analyze a different set, and we're going to see how markets and these assets are particularly going to perhaps perform today, also as well as tomorrow, because obviously the analysis is not just done for intraday basis but also in the medium term. In today's Markets and Waves video, we're going to have a quick look on euro, dollar, pound, dollar, the oil, gold, and dollar against ZAR. We haven't looked for a while, but it's really reaching a very interesting level, and it's important to see what that level is and what is likely to happen after we get there. But as always, we're going to start with the euro dollar. Euro dollar, I think we saw yesterday euro dollar or the day before. We're still looking here at wave 1, 2, and we're looking still wave 3 to be done, is not done, and then we're going to get 4 and 5, which makes me think that we're going to extend much higher, as I identified a couple of sessions ago. Now I've got a leading diagonal over here in wave 2, and internally we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, which means our wave 3 was done, and it was done at 361 extension, actually a bit higher, maybe it's around 4, just off the 400 Fibonacci of 1 and 2 over here. And we've seen an A, B, and perhaps wave C ended here in wave 4, which means now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and A, B, C. We really need to remain above the 120.15 to assume or validate that this is then going to continue in an impulse move, and then we'll get another correction, another F5 wave move to the upside around 121, which is also the 50 Fibonacci extension of waves 1 and 3 and 4. Usually we get prices go up to 38.2, anywhere between 38.2 and 61.8. When we use both waves, usually it is the 31.8 that the 61.8. If we use 2, 3, and 4 only, usually it will get to 0.618. But the 0.38 is the previous is below the previous level at 3. So the next one up will be the 50 Fibonacci around 121, which also happens to be the 4236 extension of waves 1 and 2 over here, which makes to me a nice cluster. In case now we break below that wave 1 that we're looking over here, it could be a case where this is going to be a W, X, and Y. Okay, I'm going to get wave 4 down here, but note that this channel over here belongs to the higher degree green wave rather than the minuet, right? Just pay attention to that. If we do go ahead and break outside the channel, guys, then things are going to get a bit more complicated, and we'll have to revisit really what is going to perhaps happen. But we have space down to 119.28 to really invalidate this move as a continuation to the upside, because this is where wave 1 is, and this is what keeps the current structure still impulsive in the medium term, but perhaps corrective in the short term. Now, a quick look on pound. Pound seems that it finished the correction just a few pips before reaching the target that we have set at 140.24, 61.8 Fibonacci of wave 1, minor 1. And since we started moving lower, we have got a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 1, 2, And it's very likely that we're going to continue down in an impulsive move now. We're going to get some sort of flat or double in 4 probably, because 2 is sharp, kinda, and then 4 down to 136.64, and from there a correction and a continuation to the downside, most likely, right? That's not certain. Now, it could be a case where we've got 1, 2, that is the 3, that is the 4, and we're going to get the 5, up to take the 140.24. But because why I don't support this for the main scenario for an alternative is because we had a false break above 140. So a second attempt to 140 would probably mean also, if we move above 140, that is going to break the 140. So that scenario will completely change. And because I'm more bearish than I am bullish, due to the overall structure of pound against the dollar, I am leaning towards this as a main scenario. It could be a case where we're going to see ABC, ABC, ABC. So we might get a bit more of a correction here because we did the 50, so we could go up to the 61.8 in order to continue downwards. Okay, we don't get much on the RSI MACD over here. That is already done though in momentum. Quickly on oil. I told you, don't expect this to be a move on the upside. It looks very corrective. Our target at 63.87 was done. We had a very nice false break as well above it. And since then, we did 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5. Very clear 5 move. 1 and 2 done in sharp 2, which means now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, perhaps impulsive, down to 58.84. That is going to give us 100 Fibonacci of waves 1 and 2, which means 1 and 3 I think are going to be equal because 1 is extended. When that happens, usually you got 1 and 3 being the equal, and then wave 5 is 61.8. That means we're going to get to 56, 67, where wave 5 is expected to end. And that is also going to be where wave C is expected to end, right, in the minor degree. But note you that if we take also the AB Fibonacci extension, the 61.8 brings us to 57.57. So it could be a case where we're going to get a shorter than 61.85, or it could be a case also that we're going to get that being extended at 78.6, around $56. Okay, so it will be a bit more of a bigger wave 5, but we cannot go to the 200 Fibonacci. Okay, in case, of course, wave 3 is going to end at 58.84. Okay. Other scenarios, yes, anything could be. We could get an ABC here, and then an ABC and an ABC, which means things are going to get a bit more complicated. We're going to remain around these area, you know, for a bit more time that we have done already. What we do know for now is that those two signals on the RSI, on the MACD, played out quite well, and whoever entered here a short and still easing could perhaps start taking some profits because we are near the 60 psychological handle as well. Now quickly on gold. On gold, as we expected, prices are moving up. We've had this, identify that correction over here, and very nicely we identified also the 1, the 2 and the impulse 3. Seems to be with that 3 now giving us some sort of nice channel over here to take into account where wave 3 might end, the internal structure I mean. And over the past few days we've had another 5 wave move on the upside starting, which is wave 1 and 2, and internally we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to get 5. I'm looking at 5. I'm sorry, that will be 3, 4, and then 5. I'm looking at 3 around the 1800s, above the 1803 actually, because wave 1 we don't want wave 1 to be bigger than wave 3, right? So equally, then wave 3 has to be around the 1800s. So once we get 3, then we're going to get 4 and 5. Perhaps we're going to get that around the 1815 or so. And from there, we're going to get a correction down in wave 4, and from there, just like a continuation on the upside once again. So, as you can understand, this is a multi-structural move on the upside, which contains 2 degrees down from the minute. Okay, so we've got the pink, then the black, which is a sub-minute, and we've got the sub-minuet internally I mean, I can just quickly do that just to make sure that people, you understand, guys, what I am expecting. So we're gonna go one leg down. That's the micro, apologies, and that's what I'm expecting. Okay, so I'm expecting 4 to end. We could be around here, but even if it's lower, we still have space. So without the 38.2, we could go literally down to 61.8 because this is where wave 1 is, and still consider that as an upside. Now, in case we do break below that level, then here's what I'll be thinking. I'll be thinking that perhaps this is, well, an A, B, and a C. And then we're going to get another B and a C. Yeah, and then another one, and another one, and another one, which means that is going to be like an diagonal in wave 5 of 3 rather than anything else. Okay? And dollar against the South African rand. Guys, for this, I think I might need to go a bit further out just to show you. We haven't looked at it for a while. We've been correcting since the April last year, for over a year now. And I was expecting that W, X, and Y to end. And I was looking at, obviously, around the 13 back then. But now it looks like, without seeing much signals over here on the RSI MACD, I think we are going to receive them soon. It seems to me like 1, 2, 3, and 4 are done, and we are heading lower for the last fifth wave in primary C, which is intermediate and also minor. Yeah, so I'm expecting minor wave 5 to end, guys. If we take the 1 and 2, we did the 100 Fibonacci for wave 3 and 4, and for wave 3, excuse me. So for, as I said before, when we get 1 and 3 waves being equal, that means that wave 5 like to go to 1618 extension. Before to get there though, guys, well, I don't think that is going to extend down here, to be honest, in terms of time and space and time and price. But before we get there, okay, we also have that descending channel. I don't think we're going to break below that channel, but it could be a case as a false break because we're going to probably get a very big reversal signal on the upside over here, right? Very big. So 138.2, also a possibility around 1377. But usually when 1 and 3 are equal, 5 is 0.618. Okay? This is going to be for the day, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. In case you did, push the like button. If you have any comments or alternative on this scenario, I would love to hear your thoughts. So trade safe, and we'll speak again tomorrow.